Okay, little hike on the tail end of Lake Pend Oreille. So, just met a really nice couple, kind of caught up on dog stuff. It's a little bit foggy, which is too bad. Across the lake, there's some pretty neat mountain faces from when the lake was formed. But I've walked on this trail to about where I started, and I'm going to show you as I wrap up this hike where I came in from and give you an idea where it's at. As always, got the trusty guard dog with me. You good girl, Coco. Something smell good? Yeah? Something catching your attention? Oh, there you go. Rub yourself in it. Is it nice and stinky? Good girl. I will say my favorite part about the hikes, the dog gets me out here, but dogs are good company. All right, so Lake Pend Oreille. Well, there's a ton of history in Lake Pend Oreille, so I'm not going to go through all the history. But I'll say a couple things. It's the largest lake, I think, in the Northwest, the biggest lake in Idaho. It's the deepest lake in, I think, this half of the United States, if not all the United States. It's 1,150, I think, foot deep. I'll take a picture of the Lake Pend Oreille kind of facts up above. And then this trail, which is kind of fun, and I've never done it. Like I said, I've only been inside the Farragut State Park, and I should say on the southern end of the lake is Farragut State Park. Used to be an old, I think that's an army depot is the words I'm thinking of because that's what it's called in the day. But army base from when we started into the Second World War. I think they wanted a inland base that'd be nice and safe. So they chose this as kind of a hidden base deep into the interior in case we got invaded. So quite a bit of history. Farragut State Park's definitely worth checking out and looking around. And this looks crazy good in this picture. I'm not sure why that's showing up the way it did, or good or bad. So Farragut State Park, end of Lake Pend Oreille. So this trail will take you back to town, I believe. I've never done it before. So we might be stopping as I'm looking at it. So that climbs back up the hill there. And this, well, I'll be darned, comes pretty much to a hard stop here. So I am wrong on that one. Okay, this is coming back from that dead end. The lookout is right behind me, and as I mentioned, we're at Farragut State Park, and I will say they do a great job of marking the trails. We're going to go down, looks like Trail 74. I'm going to stop back here at this sign, which kind of explains, yeah, perfect. Idaho's largest lake. And it dawned on me I was going to take a picture before, but I think I'm just going to stop and make sure that's clear in the video. And if somebody wants to, they can pause it and go through and read. I think that's going to be visible. So you can pause that, get some specifics about the lake, and then I'll get the dog catch up. Let's go walk down that lower trail. Come on, Coco. Good girl. Yes. But as I mentioned, beautiful lake, lots of history. I will probably title this video with the name of the park that I'm on the edge of. There's a handful of different campgrounds and park areas within the area. Oh, someone must have had a, I guess all these are red petals from somebody proposing right here. I can conclude that's the story. All right, so I'm stopping here just to take a quick look. We'll walk down to the water so the dog can get a drink, but I will zoom in. You can drive about to that point over there. That dead ends, and then there's really nothing. You're mountains we're looking straight at. You go up those mountains on that other side, you'll end up in Montana, in Oxen specifically. I'm going to zoom across there. You really can't see anything. There's some old structures there, and then just inside that, where I'm looking right now, is the little town of Lakeview, which is kind of a cool drive into there. Then you can see some snow on the hillside face there, some pretty good snow into the crevices there. And we'll continue down our little walk. To Hayden, or Coeur d'Alene. And there's some good history here too. There used to be, as this was a army base, gun turret, so we'll probably get one in the video here as the time goes by, as I'm walking. Yeah, perfect. So I'll stop here. So anti-aircraft firing range. So I think that's going to be the general story. Like I said, I'm just going to catch it in the video. You can pause. And I'll zoom in on some of the pictures, which is kind of cool. And then anti-gun aircraft. And my dog's going a different direction, but like I said, this is just part of the compound here, which is just cool. Left over some kind of a building site. I'm looking at some kind of a barracks, probably. I do like old concrete foundations. It gives you a good idea of what the shape and size was, but obviously you can't tell what it was without a picture of what the building was. I'm standing on the porch through there, and there'd be one entryway at that end building, another entryway at that building, another entryway there. So probably a place where people can stay and have arms stored. The picture doesn't specifically say what that is. What's going on? You lose me? Right here. Come on. Oh, there's kind of a good picture. So at the very end of that water, you can see is the very end of the lake, or the very southernmost point of the lake. So there's another park that's pretty close to that end that I have done a YouTube video on. You can back up to probably, I'll say 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. There's a video on that park, that entrance, and a little hike on that end of the lake if you're curious. And a little chillier this time. I know it was a summertime hike when I had done that last time. So no snow on the mountains, obviously, but definitely a little more comfortable to hike. So the park that we're heading up, I guess Willow Lakeview, this way. There's a boat ramp down below us, and then we're going to walk backwards up to where the camp's at. So we're going to head this way, back up the hill, or heading north again, or back to where I'd started this, where I parked. Good girl. Yes. I'm seeing some colored arrows around, so I'm thinking they must have had a fun run or some kind of a planned, organized event on the trails here. Okay, kind of open it up to the bottom of the park. So this is what brought me here. I wouldn't say the first time, but early on, one of the first companies I worked for, they had their summer picnic up here. And they usually rented one of these areas. So as you can see, there's two big covered areas, place for volleyball courts. I think the very first one was here, and then we had done one at another park area that's similar to this, a little further to the west. But that's where the road comes down, some parking where those people are walking ahead of us. Just a nice park area. I'm always surprised when I look at these areas that more people don't have weddings here. There's plenty of parking and lots of space, good covered area. volleyball courts, good working area. I never have checked to see what the total cost would be, but it seems like it'd be a good venue location. Plus, you kind of cover all the bases. If people like hiking or doing stuff with animals, they can catch a part of the wedding and enjoy the park. And if you're just a wedding person, you catch the wedding. Dog's falling behind. Good girl. It was a good dog. Hey guys. Not too bad. Just enjoying a walk in the park.
Absolutely.
Have a good day. Good girl. This way. Come on. Yes. All right, so the road into this camping area, which as I'm looking at it, it's more of a day use. I better quit saying camping area, is there. There's parking up above those areas for having get-togethers. And there's more parking in this kind of general park area. Some swings and a climb wall. Some hangout area. And we were just below this on the trail, and we'll be going by the cabins I had mentioned earlier in a moment. But quite a bit of space, I had mentioned. Good place for a get-together, a family reunion, or a wedding. What you doing? Yes. What's nice about going for a walk this time of year, got a lot of the park to yourself. There's the cabins I had mentioned across the back there. I believe they're available for rent. Don't know the whole story, I haven't ever checked into it. You good dog. I'll zoom in a little bit. So cabins would have a pretty nice view, overlooking the lake, and a pretty easy hike down to the water. And I don't think I'd noticed that, but it looks like there's another row of them just up above this area. I apologize if there's a touch of a shake. My hand, though it is in a glove, is starting to get cold. So we're going to be backtracking back on that trail in about a second here. So earlier on the video there was a trail split. One went down a little closer to the water. And I think I had videoed the first placard. Alright, got the dog back. That's always a good sign. Yes. And we'll continue down this trail. I'll zoom in a bit. So you can kind of see the trail down below that was on before. Lake's a little bit in the distance. Looks like Trail 84 is the one we're going to be on. Connect back up, which makes might be a little more clear where the pieces and parts are. I remember thinking the very first time I saw that, wouldn't that be a nice place to have a home? So in the batch of trees there is the chimney. And there's the foundations there. Let's see if we get a look back here. Oh. Okay, coming back to where that trail split. The reason I'm filming from here, this is where the little small trail that goes up to where I parked is going to be at. So I said 84, 83 to the left, 85, 74. Yeah. So that's the place where it splits, and then right past that sign, just to the left here, there's this Coco. Hey, there's a small trail that takes off up the hill here, and we're going to film that as I walk back up to the rig, so you kind of know where that ends up going if you're ever parking on this end, and also give you an idea of difficulty. It's not that steep of a trail, but obviously you're not going to do this on crutches. Voila, you're at the top. A few people up here. Nice little poem I'll try to capture for somebody by Joyce Kilmer. Not sure if that's going to be enough contrast to read it. I'll turn it a little bit different, so if you're trying to catch it, you can pause it in one of those spots. It's a nice little poem about a tree, God's gift. I'm not going to spend much time on it, but specifics about the Idaho's largest lake. All right, nice little hike video. I might get another one down in Bayview, but if not, this is Greater Spokane signing off for the day. Everybody have a wonderful February.